So I'm tying up a pretty straightforward wet fly today from Ray Bergman's book Trout. This is called the June Spinner. It's a simple little wet fly with a chenille body and a silver rib, black wing, and black hackle. If you're getting into some wet flies, this is a nice one to get started with, as the wings aren't critical in this. You'll get a nice wing. We're using some duck in this, and they don't have to be perfect lateral laying down. Won't be that way because of the chenille body, but it's a fun and interesting fly. Black is always very, very productive. That's the June Spinner. I'll get started tying. Start the June Spinner with my hook and the vise. This is a Mustad 3399 in a size 6. I'm going to debarb the hook and then attach my thread. The June Spinner has a black body that is made from some chenille. I'm using a fine chenille right here, just a Rayon chenille. So I don't have to worry about or be concerned about darkening up the body. I'm going to go ahead and start with a black thread. This is a Danville 6/0 70 denier in black. Already waxed the thread and attach my thread about an eye length behind the eye of the hook, bringing it down just past the point of the hook where I'll tie in the rib. There's no tail on the June Spinner. There's just the chenille body and a rib. The rib is I'm going to use a Danville silver and gold Mylar tinsel in a size 14. The original recipe specifies a broad silver tinsel. So you could normally, if I were tying this, say with a floss body, I would use a size 16 and 18 in the Danville Mylar tinsel. It's a narrower tinsel, but because this specifies a broader tinsel, I'm going to go ahead and use the size 14. 10 would be a little bit too wide. I'm going to tie this in with the gold side up. Pulling that back into the body, I'm going to wrap my thread down a little bit closer to the barb, not quite over the barb, but that's going to be the end of the body. As I mentioned, the body is just a black chenille. I'm using a fine Rayon chenille in black. Sometimes this Rayon chenille, when it's on this card for a while, will kind of get flat. So when you wrap this in, sometimes it doesn't go in nice and round to give you a nice smooth round body. In that case, I will take my hackle pliers, attaching it to the chenille. I'll twist up the chenille, give it a nice clockwise twist here. I'll twist up that chenille so that when I'm tying that in, and if I have to, I can twist that up a little bit more, but I get a nice full round body. You'll want to be careful to not crowd the head space on this, as we do have a wing and a hackle to put in. So I want to keep my thread here good eye length behind the eye of the hook. I'll trim away the extra chenille. Now I'll attach my rib. Most of these wet flies traditionally have 5 wraps on the rib, and I'll go ahead and try to stick to that. With my rib tied in, I'll go ahead and tie in the wing for the June spinner. It is just black. I'm using some duck quill for this. I have already cut my slips out here for the wing, so I'll match those up. At this point, I want to make certain I'm getting the tip ends here matched up. As I put those together, I'm not worried about the width right at the moment. I want to make certain that my tip ends right here pretty much match up. Then, getting one edge even, I'll take a look and see I have a little bit more barbs on my side, and this is a little wider than I care for. So I'm going to take about 3 or 4 of those off. That will give me the same width on both sides. I'm going to tie this in so that the tip will go maybe about a quarter of the length shank of the hook, maybe past the bend just a little bit. I'll secure that in with a few wraps. Take a look. That looks pretty good. The wing is going to tend to cock up on this because of the fact that we have that chenille body. I'm going to trim away the excess. Then I'm going to smooth the head space off. I have a black hackle I'm going to tie in here. With my thread right in front there, I'm going to tie in a black hackle. I'm just using some hen. This is just a black hen cape, very simple, basic hen hackle. I'm going to isolate the tip on this, peeling back, or just scooching back those barbs to open up the tip here like this. I'll trim away this tip so that I have a little handle to tie in here. Get that tied in. I'm only going to get a couple of wraps of this. I don't need to have a thick collar on this. My second wrap should bring me right up behind the eye of the hook here. Sweeping all of this back, I'll bring my thread rearward, shaping the head of the fly, binding in all of those barbs and the stem of that feather. And I'll smooth this off just a little bit, flatten my thread, and put in my whip finish. Trim away my thread. I'll put some head cement on that, soak down in and secure those thread wraps. I'll come back in a moment and put a couple coats of black lacquer on that. Give that a nice glossy head. And that will complete the June spinner. Very simple, basic wet fly. Fairly straightforward to tie. Nice productive fly. So thanks for watching today. Thank you for joining me at the Vise today. I hope you learned a new pattern, at least a tip or trick here and there. If you'd like to help Dress Irons, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things for the video. You can also head out to dressedirons.com where you can buy flies, tools, stickers, and merch, or you can join a growing community over on Locals at the Dressed Irons Fly Tying Guild. You can also donate to Dressed Irons if you want through the link at the bottom of the description. I thank everybody for their ongoing support, as it really does help the creation of these videos. But what's important is to remember, only fly tying. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.